G'day people, and happy Australia Day. Best of luck to all your Australians. And all the people who don't recognise Australia Day, fuck the lot of yous. Have a bit of loyalty to your own country. Sure, we can move the date, but you should still celebrate Australia Day. Alright, I'm going to celebrate this day by dealing with some leftover or some excess zucchini. I've still got way too many zucchini. Look, there's bloody more there. I'm probably going to have to throw them out. But anyway, I'm going to use these two. Now the usual way that people deal with excess zucchini is by making stuffed zucchini, which is minced beef and rice and olives and tomatoes. And you make this mixture and you stuff it into the massive oversized zucchini and bake them in the oven. Which is okay, but you can only do that if you've got really big zucchini, and really, to be honest, those really big zucchini are just horrible. So these zucchini aren't that big. I mean, these zucchini are edible. So I had the idea of turning it inside out. This famous dish, I'll turn it inside out. So I'm going to cook the zucchini the way I normally would, and I'm going to mix it with cooked meat and garlic and tomato and olives and so forth, and I'll just mix it all together and I'll put it on top of a bed of rice on a lasagna tray and bake it in the oven like that. And that will be a bit novel, won't it? Anyway, I better boil some water. Or I'll come back after I boil the water. Okay, water's boiled. So it's time to make some rice. Start with the rice, always a good thing to start with. Cup and a half, not quite a lot. There's a cup, a half. Not quite a lot. And this is going to be quite a big dish. Alright, same amount of water as rice, of course, because I'm using Thai jasmine rice. The best rice, in my opinion. And you have to buy the Thai stuff. You can buy Koala brand Australian jasmine rice and it's not the same. It's not as good. I mean, I hate to say it as an Australian. I hate to say it, but it's not as good. In fact, it's not worth eating. I mean, it might be better than Sun White. That's definitely not worth eating, even though I used to eat it when I was a kid. But since I realised how good the Thai stuff is, never go back to Australian rice. And this is Australia Day. This is Australia Day, and I'm telling you that I refuse to eat Australian rice. Well, sorry guys, lift your fucking game. I mean, I'm ashamed as Australian. Australian tin tomatoes are shit. I have to use Italian tin tomatoes. Australian rice is no good. Got to use the best stuff, which is Thai. I mean, it's really sad. It's really sad, but it's true, so you just got to get over it. A bit of salt. Accept the reality for what it is. Once upon a time, Australia used to make fantastic stuff. Australian was a watchword for quality. Not anymore. Australian beer. Garbage. mean, it's not all garbage. A lot of the boutique breweries do a great job, but the main Australian breweries are just garbage. I'm not going to drink this stuff. Look, I'm drinking Peroni because CUB and Tooheys are no bloody good. As an Australian, it makes me sad. I say to you people, lift your game. You're a disgrace to the country. CUB and Tooheys, you're a disgrace to the country. Lift your game. Brew some decent beer. How hard is it? I could do better with a bloody garbage bin and some malt syrup. Happy Australia Day, everyone. So I'm drinking Peroni. It's brewed in Sydney though. That's a tragedy. So we're brewing European brand beers in Sydney. Ridiculous. And of course they're inferior to the real thing. Can you believe in Australia we're brewing the famous Stella Artois from Belgium, right? They regard themselves as the greatest beer in the world. Brewed in Sydney, and it's crap. Everyone in Europe knows Stella Artois. Everyone in Europe. You know what? Hundreds of millions of people know what Stella Artois is supposed to taste like. And if you come to Australia, you don't get the real thing. You get Sydney version. Who even brews this? Hang on. What have I done with my specs? Peroni, right? What does it say? Brewed and made in Australia under supervision of Birra Peroni by Asahi, right? Queensbridge, South Bank, Vic. Oh, it's actually brewed in Melbourne, right? By Asahi. So, Italian beer brewed by Japanese in Melbourne, Australia. Crazy. Crazy and just plain stupid. Ridiculous. So, if you're looking for decent beer in Australia, good luck. Hang on. And you can buy some boutique beers, but they're very expensive. Like, you're talking 80 or 90 bucks for a slab. It's just insane. I don't want to pay that. Why should I pay that? It's water, malted barley and hops. Why should I be paying 80 or 90 bucks a slab? Ridiculous. Sorry, I'm just having a whinge. Don't mind me, I'm having a whinge. So it's going to be my Australia Day whinge. So, this is all about the zucchini, so we just chop the ends off. I mean, you don't probably have to chop the ends off, truth be known, probably doesn't matter. But I do anyway. Alright. Well, taxi. Right, make some slices. Get a nice big fry pan. You've got to have a fry pan with a lid. Put quite a bit of oil in here. You want quite a bit of oil in this dish because you want to make a nice sauce that penetrates through into the rice. But anyway, this is just for the zucchinis. Chuck them in. Alright, and let it get started. And I'll chop up a large onion. So I'll cook in yet another pan. Well, I better turn the heat on if I'm going to do that. Handle around there. Let's get that pan going. That'll be good. So I'll do the zucchini in the big fry pan, and we'll do the meat in a large saucepan. Why are they called saucepans? I mean, a pan that you make sauce in is small, right? You're not going to make sauce in something like that, and it's a saucepan. Please explain. So Pauline Hanson, if you're listening, please explain. Why are saucepans called saucepans? Alright. That bit's a bit dodgy, check it out. Must be about ready to sprout. You never know what you're getting from supermarkets. These days you could get anything when you buy. I mean, I won't even buy bananas now. Another whinge about Australia on Australia Day. Down in Victoria, you buy bananas, 90% of the time they're green. And if they're not green, they're about ready to go off because somebody's picked them green, kept them in storage for too long, and they're bloody useless. Decent bananas. Wasn't long ago you could get decent bananas from any supermarket, any time of the year, and they were less than $2 a kilo. Now they're green, most of the time they're green, not always, but most of the time. No good to eat, and they're $4 plus per kilo. Why? I don't know about you, but I'm enjoying my Australia Day rant. Right, let's put some olive oil into the remaining pan, quite a bit. Like I say, you want a fair bit of oil. Alright, get that on, put the onions in. Now, thanks to the Italian immigration, here's to the great Italian immigration, by the way, all those that came out in the 50s and 60s. Italians have been great for Australia. Let me just say it. Italians have been great for Australia. They brought pizza, they brought pasta, they brought olive oil, they brought garlic. Fan-bloody-tastic. Now that's a contribution to the nation. And they fit it in. I've got Italian friends. I've played in a band with Italians. Great. That's what we want to see in Australia. People coming in that contribute. Bring something good. Don't stick to yourselves. Mix in with the Australians and be part of it. That's what we want to see. That's what I want to see. Be part of it. Make yourself part of it. So hopefully the Chinese will do the same. I mean, the Chinese have brought quite a lot already, which is good. Well, I've got to say, in my opinion, Cantonese cuisine shits all over Beijing cuisine. There you go, I've said it. I've said it. If you don't like it, tough. Go and eat some good bloody Cantonese cuisine. The Cantonese got here first. Cantonese have been here since 1850. I've got a friend who's Cantonese. Well, he's Australian, but his ancestry is Cantonese. And he's got great grandparents who are out here in Australia. Going way back. So all the Johnny-come-latelys from Beijing and Chengdu and all those places, remember all you people who are from the north of China or the west, just remember those Cantonese who came here in the early days, in the 1850s, 1860s, came out for the gold. A lot of them suffered badly, but they stuck around and they contributed to the Australian culture. All of the, go to any country town, there'll be a Chinese restaurant, and the Chinese restaurant will be Cantonese. They'll be Cantonese. You'll be able to get steak and black bean sauce, sweet and sour pork, chicken chow mein, special fried rice, etc, etc. Fantastic stuff. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. They're the best. Alright, the idea here is to fry and steam the zucchini at the same time. So you want a fair bit of heat but not too much. You want to get a bit of colour on the zooks. This is why you want to use a big fry pan so that you can get colour on it. If you put them all in one big pot, one big saucepan, it's too big and you can't get everyone frying. God damn it. Getting arthritis in my hands, finding it difficult to manipulate the tongs properly. Getting old sucks. All of you who aren't old yet, take it from me, getting old sucks. It isn't good. Anyone that says it's great is lying. The only good thing about getting old is at least you're getting to the end. You know, one day it's going to be over and you can finally relax. When you're dead. Oh yeah, cooking away nicely. So, give me one of these. Fantastic. This is the go. Get yourself one of these. Commercial chef spoon. Look at that. No frills, just made to do the job. In fact, do that with everything. Just get commercial chef stuff and you're right to go. Because they're just made to work. It was given to me, this was given to me, a housewarming party as a student. The guy that gave it to me stole it from a restaurant. So, yes, it's been thieved. I'm not going to tell you which restaurant, so you can't get it back. Ha ha ha. Right. Got some garlic, some chilies. So I'll chuck the garlic in there in a minute with the chilies and the meat, and brown it up. And got a bunch of tomatoes, old cheapo Annalisa tomatoes. They're not the greatest thing ever, but they are better than the Australian tin tomatoes. I can't tell you how disappointed I am with Australian tin tomatoes. Shepparton, tomato growing capital of Australia, right? SBC, Ardmona, I grew up with those brands, and they pick the fucking tomatoes green. It's absolute disgrace. You pick the tomatoes green, what are they going to taste like? They're going to taste like green tomatoes. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Why would I patronise garbage like that? I'm sorry, Shepparton, you've got to lift your game. Stop picking the tomatoes green. Let them ripen. At least the Italians... Whoops. Try that. Sorry. Sorry, stop my rant there. The rice is just cooking. At least the Italians have got a bit of pride in their food, in their raw materials, unlike Australians. It hurts me so much to say this, because I know Australian farmers try to do the right thing, but supermarkets make them pick their shit green, so it's horrible. Bananas, tomatoes, I don't buy bloody fresh fruit anymore. Oh, apples. Almost impossible to get a decent apple. What an absolute disgrace that is. Go to the supermarket, you'll get an apple that's been sitting in the cold store for months. Maybe 6 months, maybe 9 months. Absolute disgrace. And even when it's apple season, those bastards at the major supermarkets, they will trot out stuff that's nearly a year old from their cold store, because it's cheaper for them to do that and they want to get rid of it, instead of selling you nice fresh apples. And all the fruit is picked green. Apples, pears, apricots, peaches, you name it, pick bloody green. I don't want green fruit, you bastards. Hurts me to say it. It's disgusting. Australia, my country. My country, ruined by idiots. Ruined by idiots. We've got idiots protesting about Australia Day at the cricket. At the cricket. What has cricket got to do with Aboriginal protest? And most of those people, at least half of those people on those Aboriginal protests, are not Aboriginal. Get back in your box, you idiots. At least be Aboriginal if you're going to walk down the streets and carry on about Invasion Day. Like, at least purebred Aboriginals have got something to complain about. No, they haven't really, because Australia has given them stuff they would never have had if the whites hadn't invaded. But yes, whites invaded. But all those people who are white, all of you who are white, stop pretending you're Aboriginal. You're not Aboriginal, you're white. You're protesting against yourself. You're protesting against white invasion. You're white. You're the invaders. Get back in your box. And as for the Aborigines who are standing with them, don't put up with it. They're the bloody enemy. If you have to have an enemy, which you don't have to have an enemy, because we're supposed to be one country. One country. All working together to achieve the common dream, which is for everyone to be happy. So lucky you live in Australia, so bloody lucky, whether you're white, black, brindle, Asian, South American, North American, European, whatever, African. You're so lucky to be here, the best country in the world. I can't put it too strongly. Best country in the world. Stop shitting on your own country. Nowhere else in the world do they do that. At least have some love for your own country. Sure, we're not perfect, but we're the best country in the world to live in. Why do you think everyone wants to come here? Because other people can see how good it is. And they compare it to their own world, their own country, and they go, my God, Australia looks pretty bloody good. Let's go there. Apparently in Australia you don't even have to work. You can bludge off the government and live like a king. Of course, you're really bludging up the taxpayer, but anyway, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. I mean, I can't talk. I've been on the dole and the pension for most of my life. However, I have made a substantial contribution, of which this recipe is part of it. So I haven't just haven't just sat around at home doing nothing except getting drunk or taking drugs and complaining. I know I'm lucky to be living where I am. Alright, let's mix everything up. Maybe we'll do the mix up in the saucepan maybe. I mean, theoretically you might mix up in the fry pan, but it's a pretty heavy fry pan. Right. Mix it all up. Very good. And maybe I could have put more zucchini here, I don't know. Mix it all up. All good. There's quite a bit of stuff here. Alright, pour it in. Yes, I'm afraid the camera, my camera, decided to cut out after 20 minutes. 20 minutes into my rant, my rave, my diatribe. So you missed some of my diatribe, some of my most emotional parts. But anyway, I put the dish in the oven. Turn the oven on to 180 Celsius. So we'll come back in about half an hour and have a look. Okay, time's up. Let's have a look and see how it turned out. Right. What do we need? Something to serve it up with. You could try the slice, I suppose. See how it goes. So we've got the bed of rice. On top of the bed of rice, we've got the zucchini and tomato. It's a bit, I mean, you could argue it's a bit like ratatouille, really. I suppose it is like ratatouille, to be perfectly honest. Ratatouille on a bed of rice with meat. It's like a meat ratatouille. Alright, let's have a taste. Hot. Yeah. Not the greatest dish I've ever made. It's alright. I think the problem sadly to say is the zucchini. I mean, what do? You want put some parmesan on. What do? You want zucchini's just a bland flavour, but it's also a distinctive flavour. And I don't know. It's hard to make a really great dish that really tastes like zucchini. And this does taste like zucchini. It's alright. It's okay. I'll eat it. Happy Australia Day, people. Love your country.